So is RIM really a takeover target? The stock closed up more than 9% today after reports Amazon, Microsoft, and Nokia may have been interested in buying it. Some analysts say a buyout is unlikely, but Alex Gauna of JMP Securities says it may be the only way to keep RIM from slipping into a death spiral. Alex covers RIM and joins us here now. So you think RIM doesn't have a choice? At some point, they're going to have to do this.
At this juncture right now, RIM has proven beyond a doubt that it has an inability to execute at the pace that its rivals are, those being the iOS operating system and Android. The BlackBerry 10 operating system is not coming until latter 2012. And so with that as our backdrop, I think that, yes, a fundamental change in the business model and the operations of the company is the only thing that can save us. And I think that what's going to happen is it's going to have to be a partner that comes in and resuscitates the RIM business model.
Why would Amazon want to buy RIM?
I actually don't think that one's very probable. It's a consumer model. I can see why an Amazon might go in, kick the tires. It's new to the wireless space. It's going to want some industry expertise. But I think you'd have to look at somebody like a Microsoft, even a Google, when it's done digesting Motorola, or down the road, maybe if Intel decides to go vertical. Those are potentially acquirers of Research In Motion. But I think what RIM is showing us right now is they want to try one more turn at the crank to innovate their way out of this. And I guess what I'm saying is I'm skeptical.
So the management team supposedly rebuffed these offers. At some point, though, are they going to have to make a drastic change?
So that's the one more turn of the crank I was referring to. I think when BlackBerry 10 comes out and the next devices, if those flounder in the market, where there's good possibility that they will, because they're so far behind right now, I think that's when you would see the company potentially starting to lose money, and that's when they would maybe open their, hearts to maybe going on and finding a partner to work with.
Microsoft and Nokia are also behind in mobile. Why might that make sense?
I actually think it would be more of a defensive move on their part. So I think that one of the strengths Microsoft will have is going after the business user, melding with the Outlook infrastructure that they've already got, the server and Azure services. But if they wanted to keep an asset like this out of the hands of one of their rivals, that would be one potential reason to do it.
Would RIM be turning this down because they really think they can build compelling smartphones, or because the longer vision is something else, perhaps becoming a platform or an IT management service?
So yes, I think that right now the market, with the stock trading at 1x tangible book, has said that this business model is not working. The management team, however, is still throwing off $5 billion in revenue a quarter. It's still generating cash flow. So I think that they believe that they can still innovate. I think that they believe that by incorporating Android, they have a shot to become relevant again. But again, my concern is that the past execution is a red flag in terms of the odds that they actually get it right.
Do you believe RIM has a future as a smartphone maker?
Yes, but it would be in the hands of another asset owner. Again, down the road, not 2012, probably in the 2013 or maybe even 2014 timeframe, when the company has decided, like a Yahoo, which took too long to figure out how it was going to create value for shareholders, figure out how to capitalize on some of the assets that it has. And it does have, with the BES server infrastructure, with the way that they can offload traffic onto the NOC system. They do have some assets that they can offer to other strategic partners.
Talk to us about the dynamics of this management team, the co-CEOs, Jim Balsillie, Mike Lazaridis, and the discussions that must be going on between them to make these kinds of decisions.
Well, it's difficult for me to speculate on as an outsider. I'm not intimately familiar with how they collaborate together, but I do know what I see when I go out to the trade shows, when I interface with Research In Motion in public, and they're not showing signs of getting it. And I think they still believe that they have a fundamentally healthy, innovative corporate culture that can get there with the right moves. And I guess what I'm seeing is a series of blunders. Just look at BlackBerry 10, originally called BBX. They stepped right on a trademark infringement problem and had to rename them out of the gate. So I just don't know if it's the co-CEO structure that's the problem, if it's the corporate culture at this juncture, but I do see that there are problems, and I'm not anticipating a turnaround anytime soon.
Is it the people that are the problem? Do these guys, or one of them, does someone need to step down?
So they have brought in some new management at the VP level, they have had some new people coming in to try to turn this thing around. Let's not forget the infusion of QNX intellectual property and people as well. Again, I think that it's difficult to find a CEO to fill that post. There aren't that many assets out there to be had. I think somebody that knows how to turn a company around, like a potential acquirer, is the most likely scenario out there right now. And so in the near term, I think that they tried to bring out BlackBerry 10, or the next generation devices and OS, and we'll see.
Now it's not happening until the end of next year.
Exactly, and so
what's going to happen with RIM in 2012? What do you see?
It's going to look really scary for the company in the first part of next year. Ice cream sandwich devices are going to start hitting the market. We're going to start talking about the iPhone 5. The market share losses are going to intensify. They're going to suffer in international markets with the low-end Android devices that are ramping very rapidly right now. And so it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that's what I think might open their eyes to a potential merger.
RIM has a long road ahead. Alex Gauna of JMP Securities, thanks for joining us today on Bloomberg West.